It's spooky month, and there is so much to do and get through. So much it might even take me into November. So let's get started. This time, we're going into Samhain, a festival that I consider to be the crown jewel of the Wiccan calendar. It has to be one of the most well-known festivals out there aside from Christmas, and has become a melting pot over the years of lore, history and tradition, from a number of groups of people, ancient Samhain being one thing, and its relative, modern Halloween being something completely different. Not to worry though, because we are going to go over all of that, including how to celebrate it in this series of videos. To start, it doesn't last for just one day. It begins on the evening before Halloween and goes through until the 2nd of November. A time period that was adopted by the Christian faith, taking Samhain on the 31st to become Halloween. The word coming from a Scottish term meaning All Hallows Evening. The day before All Hallows. November 1st became All Saints' Days, when a feast is held to honor the saints, and November 2nd became All Souls' Day. A very similar holiday but for deceased relatives instead. In some ways, Samhain is similar to Mabon. The thing is, while Mabon marks the start of the harvesting period, Samhain marks the end of it. At this time, it's going to get colder and colder until animals either go into hibernation, die off, or manage to survive the season by gathering food ahead of time, just as you should have. The falling of the leaves and their subtle changing of color serving as a grim reminder that you are running out of time. This is why it was considered a time to celebrate. You'd succeeded and put away enough food for the coming cold season. Your family wasn't going to starve. This was only one aspect of the festival. The second part is that Samhain is Witches' New Year, which adds doubly to this time's focus on death. This plays into the Wiccan belief of the horned god and the goddess. Up until this point, they've lived happily together as a couple, deeply in love, but the year is long. The sun is starting to die, and the god is beginning to age and weaken, so, the goddess allows him to impregnate her so that after his death on October the 31st, he grows again in her womb until he is reborn on the festival of Yule. I realize that all of this seems uncomfortably incestuous, but historically and in mythology, incest wasn't frowned on, and the horned god, even at rebirth, isn't the goddess's child, he's her lover, and she's used the life-giving magic of her body to give him new life. See how with the life cycle of the god as well as the cycle of the year focuses on death at this point. And I understand that it can seem a little odd. You're probably thinking, this is supposed to be New Year? But everything's dying. Well, most of the world celebrates New Year as the very last day of the year, when the year dies. After that, much like with the god, life slowly begins to return. See, it's not that different. Because of all of this, it's also a time to think about the dead who came before us, and therefore, a time in which it's easier to cross the barrier between life and death. A way to honor the dead was laying out a place for them at the dining table, putting out food for them. And the Christians who adopted the traditions of Samhain would adopt this tradition too, leaving food and drink outside of their homes for the dead. This was usually wine, and a sweet dish called soul cakes. Only, they were less like a cake and closer to shortbread, and filled with warming spices and fruits like raisin and currants, and they would be marked on top with a cross. Over time, this tradition evolved into children going door to door, offering prayers for people's dead, and hymns, in exchange for soul cakes, holding a lantern made of a turnip which had a wicked grin carved into it. It became known as souling and was the start of what we call trick or treating. In the next video, I'll go into the Wiccan lore behind Halloween, where certain traditions came from, why we do certain things, where pumpkins came from, and how witches celebrate it in the modern day. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and blessed be.